Hello everyone. In our previous video, we have discussed sensory integration. Now today, we are going to discuss what is sensory integrative dysfunction. Sensory integrative dysfunction occurs when brain is not able to organize various sensory information. A sensory input coming towards the brain may be inaccurate. A proper connection is not established between different regions within the brain to process the sensory input, or a child is not able to put all the sensory inputs coming from different senses together. Now, to give an example, it is like a brain is not able to correlate what is seen with what is being heard with the movement being occurred. Now, further we will understand what is sensory integrative dysfunction, but before that, let me tell you that there are no diagnostic tests for sensory integrative dysfunction. But yes, we do have few questionnaires which helps us to decide and to assess this sensory integrative dysfunction. For example, a short sensory profile helps us to understand whether a child is having sensory seeking behavior or sensory avoiding behavior. Further moving on with the sensory integrative dysfunction, sensory integrative dysfunction is a malfunctioning, which means various areas of brain involved in sensory integration are functioning, are operating, but they are not operating efficiently to the optimum level. Over here, let us understand the hallmarks of sensory integrative dysfunction. First one is inconsistencies in performance. Second one is difficulty in attention. Third, difficulty in arousal level. Fourth, difficulty in organizing behavior, motor planning and coordination. Fifth, fluctuation in emotions and behavioral patterns. Let us understand this with one more example again. For instance, on a given day, a child enters the school or enters the clinic and is able to function efficiently. All the areas of the brain involved in sensory integration are functioning efficiently. Child is behaving so well. Child is calm, composed, able to execute almost all the functions beautifully, and child is very well behaved and happy. Teacher and parents are thrilled to see this potential of the child and the capabilities of the child. It is because on that given day, all the areas of the brain involved in sensory integration are well communicating with each other, and as a result, the child is able to behave effectively and function effectively. Now, on a second instance, same child on entering the school or the clinic is not able to function efficiently because on that given day, child might have got so much of sensory overload. There might be different sounds coming on, or some clothing. The child is wearing some clothes which is bothering the child. So all these things leads to disorganized behavior. Child is not able to organize the sensory inputs, as a result of which the functioning of the child becomes inefficient. Parents might get frustrated on noticing this unexplained inconsistency in performance. They might feel that child is not behaving well or child is being lazy, but in reality, child is suffering from sensory integrative dysfunction. The inefficiency of brain to integrate the sensory information leads to ineffective functioning of the child. So we need to understand this when we are planning a therapy session for the child. A therapy session needs to focus on this central processing issue. When we are understanding sensory integrative dysfunction, it is very important to know that it's a central processing disorder. So a therapy session which is only aiming at development of motor skills like gross motor, fine motor or oral motor skills without focusing on sensory integration, then at that time we might see some improvement in those skills, but after a given time a child will reach to a plateau in performance of those skills, and ultimately child will not be able to use those skills in a generalized way in day-to-day activities. So the goal of sensory integration therapy or the entire therapy session should be to help a child to process, to organize various sensory inputs and use them in the most successful and effective way in day-to-day activities. I hope you are able to understand what is sensory integrative dysfunction. Do give your inputs and suggestions in the comments below. We welcome your suggestions and the queries. Do not forget to like and share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel Be Easy Therapeutics to support us for continuing our work in this field.